G'day, welcome to Module 4. In this video we're going to be talking about the actual design and what sort of design elements are important and which are perhaps not important. So firstly, do you actually need to have a sexy design for a business website? And the answer is yes, you really do. You do need to have a website that looks modern and attractive because people make a lot of decisions when they first look at your site without actually reading anything. So if your site looks dodgy or looks old and it looks like it hasn't been updated for about 10 years or something, people are going to automatically make assumptions about your business. And your business, your shop front might have been updated that week and you might have the best, cleanest workspace around, but if your website doesn't look that great, that really is the first impression that people have of you. And so they'll get that preconception even before they've read anything or seen you or talked to you. So it's important that your website design conveys a strong brand image for your business. However, it's also not worth wasting heaps and heaps of money getting funky designs that are all different and new and trying to be really individual and getting funky, flashy features on your site. Because not only do some of these things not only just waste your money because they don't actually improve your website's conversions, there's also, you run the risk of actually making your website harder to navigate and harder for the customer to understand what needs to be done. It's important to keep to a few standard conventions of web design so that people can easily navigate and easily find what they're looking for. And it also is pretty important with keeping your website fresh and up to date that maybe you give it a fresh look, a redesign every couple of years. Although that's a bit of an extra cost, it does make sure that you'll be staying ahead of the pack and you're not going to be losing customers to your competition who might have just updated their website. Now, the most important thing at the moment that most business owners are missing out on is having web designs that are mobile friendly. And you want to have them so that they are mobile responsive, which means that when people view them from a smartphone or from an iPad, the website will automatically shrink and resize and readjust some of the features and the layout so that it looks good and it's easy to read and it's easy to use from a mobile device. Now, this is very important now because currently over 50% of Australians own a smartphone, and that number is growing rapidly. So it's important for future-proofing your website and your web design because in a year or 2 years' time, that's going to be very important as there will be even more market saturation. And not only will more people have phones, but they will be using them more and more often. It's also important because when people are searching from their smartphone, they're at that crucial moment where they're making a buying decision. And so if your website doesn't display properly, is hard to navigate, hard to use, or not usable at all from a mobile device, then they are simply going to hit back and go to your competition and see what they have to offer. So you really run the risk of losing customers if you don't have a website design that looks attractive and is easily viewable from a mobile device. So in terms of what's important when you're looking at your website design, firstly, you want to make sure that it's functional. You want to make sure that it works easily and that it's customer focused. You want to make sure that it's not cluttered and not distracting. There's not too many things going on. You want to keep it simple, keep it down to just the core purpose of your website and what you want your customers to do. You want to make sure that it's easy to navigate. People can easily find what they're looking for in your website, and they're not going to get lost or frustrated when they're trying to look around for what they need. And finally, your website design is not about you, it's about the customer. So they probably don't care about your van or your dog or your family or what you look like even. They just want to know if you're the right guy for the job. I mean, having your logo there is important, but you don't want to put so much focus on your business, how your business looks, your shop front, your logos, your trucks, or whatever it might be, that you lose the focus on what the customer wants, what the customer needs. So it's important to find that balance, and really just having a small logo in the corner is usually enough. However, of course, there are some businesses where the images are very important. Accommodation businesses, for example, you want to be displaying images of the accommodation that you have to offer as soon as the people land on the website. Now, the next thing to be aware of is that you want to keep your website simple so that it loads quickly. And having a quick load speed is pretty important, because if it takes too long on certain devices or on certain connection speeds, people will get frustrated and they'll hit back and they'll leave your website and probably never come back. And the other thing to be aware of is that Google actually looks at your load speed as a factor of how valuable your website is. It gives preference to fast loading websites because it wants to get the customer to the required information as quickly as possible. So I hope you got a lot out of this module. Keep an eye out for the next module. We'll be emailing it to you shortly. I'm Justin Meadows from Evergreen Profit. Cheers.